ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mick Bailey and I am YouTube's man-child, back with another episode of what we are calling Gingers in a Half Shell. And today is a very, very special one for me because I've been waiting to unbox these for quite some time now, and I know a lot of Ninja Turtle fans out there are trying to get their hands on these fantastic NECA Ninja Turtles from the 1990s movie. And today we are going to be taking a look at Michelangelo. There he is in all his glory in the box. Now, a lot of people were clambering to try and get hold of the 4-pack, which I believe was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Getting hold of those they're like gold dust now, and there's a lot of bootlegs out there. There's a lot of people who are putting the price sky high, so a lot of us are now opting for these. Now, a lot of the fans from the States refer to these as the GameStop figures. These, just for me, are the Nickelodeon NECA ones. I picked these up from a fantastic website called Nerd Toys UK, I believe it was. And since then, they've been providing me with some of these fantastic NECA turtles there. And as you can see, we'll get a little close-up straight away. Look at Mikey there. We all want these figures because of the absolute amazing detail. And I am going to open this up, but I will be doing it very delicately, only because I do want to keep the boxes still to maybe even store them. And there we are, we have the back there, a little bit of information about Mikey, and that's the other side there, the full figure in detail. Really, really nice. And obviously on the back here, it gives you a little bit of information about the Ninja Turtles and lets you know that it is 6.5 inches tall and has 30 points of articulation, including double elbows and double knees. So if you are into posing your figures, as a lot of people are with these specific figures, this is going to be the one for you, because you're going to be able to set up scenes from movies or even just have a little bit of fun with it, as I've seen a lot of people on Instagram do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to speed this video up, because it's going to take a while to open this up delicately and to remove the cable ties. So I have a knife here, be careful, and a pair of scissors. So let's delve inside and have a look at this fantastic figure. So there, for the first time there, straight out of the packaging, there is Mikey. Looking at the accessories that come with it, there is a slice of pizza there, and there's Mikey himself. 2 sets of nunchucks, alternative hands there as well, which is cool, and an alternative bandana. I guess that's if you want it to hang down rather than just drooping over one shoulder. These figures are absolutely world class. Look at them. I'm hoping that you can see that despite the see-through plastic there, but what a figure. Absolutely incredible. So we'll speed it up again a little bit now while I remove some of the tape and cable ties, I think. So, right. So there we have it. There is Mikey, looking absolutely unreal. Like, that might possibly be the greatest action figure I have ever purchased in my life. I'm just gonna pop my hand there so we can get some, hopefully some really good focus on Mikey there. What a figure, absolutely amazing. And yeah, you know, I've thought this quite a lot about a lot of the NECA figures. The articulation is okay, but like, it's these shoulder joints. Like, how do you make them go outwards without breaking it? Like, it's pretty rigid. Like, it's very rigid, in fact. But all the different parts here of the figure, they all seem to be completely disconnected. Like, so like the shell does feel like a completely separate piece to the rest of the figure, which does make it quite sort of like almost realistic. But yeah, I mean, like, I can have Mikey's arms down by his sides, but how do the arms go up? Like, I don't really understand. Obviously don't want to break it or anything, but like, it is quite stiff. It is very stiff. But then, you know, do you want your figure to be in like pretty sturdy condition? I mean, even the ankle joints here are a little bit I mean, I can't see how I'm going to get Mikey to stand up at this rate because his foot seems a bit bent, but yeah, it seems a bit like they do look great, and I've got to say, like, they look absolutely fantastic, but like the actual posability of it, they all feel really, really rigid. And these are the official figures, and I've got them from a reputable retailer, but like I don't really understand how these articulation points actually work because they're just really stiff. Like, I'm imagining Mikey's hands come off quite easily, which I'm not going to try right now because you've seen enough of me faffing already. But yeah, we'll spin the camera and have a little close-up and see if I can get these to articulate, because if you've got 30 points of articulation, you'd hope to be able to use them. So let's have a look, shall we? So here's a little close-up of Mikey now, and straight away, the eyes and the teeth, so much detail. The skin tone, absolutely fantastic. Coming down, all the muscle definition, little veins popping there. The shell is dirty on the front, which is cool from all the time living down the sewer. Like the hands there, a lot of detail on the hands. Even the elbow pads have little ties on the inside, just giving that extra detail that you would expect from these high-end figures. Let's have a little bit look further down here now. Another hand there, obviously. There's the knee pads, the brown ones that are synonymous with this movie franchise. There's the feet. Now I'm having a little problem here with this foot, which all the points of articulation are absolutely rigid. They just don't move. Right, and that foot is a little bit turned out, which is making it very tricky to actually stand Mikey up. You come with a slice of pizza there, and from the looks of things, I'm saying that has got ground beef, green peppers, and olives on it. Moving up, a couple of extra hands here. They're nice. Just in case you want to give Mikey the thumbs up, I guess. Obviously, you won't be able to put any nunchucks in those hands, but that's okay. Additional bandana there and some nunchucks. The nunchucks as well are very rigid. Like, I was hoping that they'd drop down a little bit, but they're not going anywhere. And on the back of the packaging, it sort of shows all these different poses that you can put Mikey in. And at the moment, I'm failing to see how I'm going to be able to do that. But let's just flip Mikey over. Lots of detail on the back here. There's the bandana there, draping over one shoulder. The shell's probably the most detailed shell on any Ninja Turtle figure I've ever seen. I really like that. No areas really there for putting Mikey's nunchucks in on the back of his belt, but still, nevertheless. Again, you know, fantastic definition, even down to the Achilles in the back of his heels. And you can still see there that that one foot is just kicking out, and it's going to make it quite tricky to stand. I do like the fact that this figure has the detail in the side shell as well. That's really nice. And then you can see the little freckles there on Mikey, looking really good. Attention to detail, absolutely flawless. But posability, to say that there are 30 points of articulation, like I'm trying to stand Mikey up there, and it's like, that is literally the only position I can put him in. Like, none of his like actual points of articulation move, which is really disappointing, to be honest. But nevertheless, we will. I'll try and do a little bit of alteration with some of these extra parts here, and we'll see what he looks like. So I have managed to work out how to do the articulation to an extent. I still failed to see 30 points, but they're just very rigid. They click almost, rather than a smooth transition with the joints. They click, so it's like click, 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 which made it like feel like I was going to break the figure, quite frankly. But yeah, no. Once you've actually figured that out, it's handy to actually hold both arms while trying to do said articulation. But they are like a bit closer sort of together, and we can. Oh god, it feels so flimsy. I don't want it to break. But there we go, we can have arms wider apart. I mean, so there's 2 points there, and then I've got this, obviously. The forearms, again, it feels like it's gonna break. Like, I don't want to break it. That bends a little bit like that, you know, but yeah, I mean, I guess the wrists will turn round as well, but Yeah, I mean, the thing is, for a posing standpoint, these are absolutely fantastic. But if you were gonna, like, as I wanted as a kid to have a figure like this, it would have been destroyed in no time. Like, I've noticed that the belt here is held on with a bit of glue, but at the sides, it's obviously quite, like, loose. On the back, it's starting to come away, so the chances are I'm not going to be touching these too much, because I'll be slightly concerned about breakage and having to hunt down more. But still, this is a great figure, and I mean, I do think that the people collecting these are doing this purely from a collection standpoint and are not wanting to obviously play with these or give them to kids. I like the accessories, but I wish there was a little bit more, like, I guess, give to the nunchucks. Like, I would have destroyed these as a kid. But they don't tend, I don't know if that's like a bendy wire, so you can, yeah, okay. So you can move these around a little bit, but God, I bet they don't bend much. I bet there's no giving those, and eventually they will snap. But I've also changed up the bandana there, so that's the other bandana for Mikey. It's very, very simple on the back there. It's just a little thing that pops in and pops out. You can pop it over there, so it's completely all over one shoulder, which looks quite cool. I might go back to the original one there, but in the meantime, yeah, that looks pretty decent. I haven't put any of the hands on because I don't really feel that you're going to be able to put any nunchucks. And the other thing as well is the pizza accessory there. That does not fit into hands or anything. Like, it's merely just something that I think is going to end up going into a box of bits and bobs, or if anybody ever needed them, I could send them to them. But yeah, that is the Michelangelo NECA Ninja Turtle figure from the 1990s. It's a great figure. But I wouldn't call it an action figure. I would call it a collectible, like, because you're never going to play with this. Like, kids would absolutely hate how rigid this is. Like, I am afraid to move parts of it in case it suddenly just falls to bits in my hands, because the joints are rigid and parts of it, like the shell, is just very, very loose on there. So whenever you try and do any articulation with it, it feels like that's going to snap off in your hands. It's quite sort of, yeah, loose. I wondered if the San Diego Comic-Con ones that come in the 4-pack would be a bit more rigid, as these are probably just done like in a mass-produced sort of thing to make sure that everyone can get their hands on them while they want them. But still, nevertheless, look at it. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. I had a little look at the close-up of Michelangelo that I just did, and the detail back on the camera, I just couldn't get over how good it was. These are always probably going to be my favourite figures for a display standpoint. But yeah, if you were a kid wanting to play with them, maybe not so much. So, my name has been Mick Bailey. I am YouTube's man-child. I have just unboxed the NECA Nickelodeon, oh, Michelangelo just fell over there, 1990s Ninja Turtle figure. Please do subscribe to this channel, because that will help you distribute this video out to other people. Hopefully they'll get to see it too. Like the video, comment below, and I've got a lot more of these to come, including the other 3 turtles, Shredder, Splinter, and the Foot Soldiers. I've still got to do some 1989 action figures, and I've also got some classic collection. Lots and lots of Ninja Turtle stuff coming, even a Suicide. So please do subscribe, like, share, comment below, and I will be back next time with another episode of Gingers in a Half Shell.